In the beginning of the Head Start obedience course, it is often the first time that the pup has had a leash on and been given some structure leash work with the chain. So it is important when introducing the leash and the chain with the heel command that we continue to give the pup a lot of praise and positive encouragement. This way they learn to learn effectively, creating a dog that is receptive to more advanced training later in life. Keeping your hands nice and relaxed down at your side and remembering to try and give your puppy slack with the chain as much as possible so that we aren't dragging them along with us and that they learn how to move with us in a nice flowing movement. On the left hand side, about 8 to 10 inches off of that left knee. It is important that when you're teaching the puppy to heel that you continue to give them a lot of encouragement. When first starting out, we want to say heel as we begin to walk. Heel means to be in motion and move with us. When it is the first time on the leash, we don't ask for the puppy to be specifically at the 8 to 10 inch mark off of the left knee. We really just try to encourage them to be comfortable with moving on a leash and walking with a handler. After we've established some heel with the puppy, the next step is to move on to practicing cone drills. It's fairly easy for the puppy to move with us in a straight line or a large circle, so we begin to introduce turns with the cones. This is a great place to build a rapport with you and your puppy. It also increases the amount of attention that you'll get from your puppy. It really gets them to learn to respond to a handler and pay attention to that left-hand side and move with you on the turns rather than be in the way. Some of the things that we look for when working the cone drills is teaching the puppy how to move with us around the cones. A lot of times they want to lag behind or jump up and kind of play around. And so the goal here is to teach them how to pay attention to the left-hand side and really make a nice flowing movement around these cones. After we're able to go around the outside of the cones both directions, then we roll into doing some figure eights to try to create sharper turns. The cones are also a good practicing point because they build that foundation for the off-leash. So later when we take the leash away, we have a dog that knows how to continue to stay with us at the left-hand side and make turns. When teaching the puppy sit, it is important that you stop, say the word, sit, and lift up on the chain all at the same time. What this does is to create an instant and clean sit so that later we have a puppy that will sit strictly on the verbal and it can be instantly and nice and clean. So again, what we do is work on getting that instant sit. So we're going to stop, say the word, lift, hold that pressure till we get the sit, and then lots of praise. So we're trying to have everything be at once. Very good.
Good.
Perfect. The step after working on sit is beginning to build the assumed stay. We want the puppy to learn how to hold the position. So we're going to hold a little bit of tension up with our hand on the leash and chain as we work our way around in a circle. If the puppy goes to move, we give a little bit of pressure with the chain and reinforce the sit. We like to work to get around both directions and then come back in and give the puppy praise. And we continue to build on this until we can let off that tension and increase the distance. The next step is working on the down command. This one's always a bit of a struggle for the pups. We ask for the sit first, then we ask for the down with a gruffer tone, and we start to pull down to the ground with that leash. We want to try to keep the hands off so that this is strictly on a verbal later. Lots of praise once we achieve the down position. Also work the assumed stay with the down as well. working on that distance of having the pup hold position while we move around them. Very good. After working on the previous commands, we move on to working the place board. Place is considered an open area like a bed or a blanket, not a kennel or a crate. We consider it place when all 4 feet are on the board. We ask for sit when we're working on this command just to get a little bit more focus from the puppy. We want them to really like the place board. We really encourage that this is a happy spot, that as long as you're here, you know, you're safe. And we work with the assume stay with the place as well, working on getting that distance and teaching the puppy to hold the position on the place board while we move around them, so that later we can have this be a greater distance, so at home we can send them to place and go into the kitchen or wherever we need to be, and they're going to stay on the place board. The last one that we work on is the recall command, where we say here, heel, and sit. When we want the dog to come to us off of the place board, we recall by saying here, doing that little step backwards to the left-hand side. The pup comes over and positions up back into heel position. So we use this for a recall for all commands, out of the sit, out of the down, off of the board. And if the pup's out just running around playing, we expect that when we say here that they are going to come back to us and position up. When the pups come here for the 2-week Head Start obedience program, if they are a retriever, then we do work on getting them to retrieve a bumper in the water and on the land. You know, we work with them, help them learn how to swim properly and level out in the water and not pound the surface of the water so much. If the pup's really struggling with the swimming, we work pretty closely with them in the pond, wearing the waders and encouraging them along and building on those experiences in the water with the retrieving the bumper. At the end of the 2-week program, you are given the opportunity to spend an hour with the trainer and your puppy, getting one-on-one time learning what the puppy has learned in the 2 weeks, and also learning how to continue to further this training with the puppy. So we explain everything that we have done as far as leash work and the commands. We break all of this down for you into small, simple steps.
Okay, do another sit. Sit. Perfect. Give her some praise. Good. All right. Good.
The appointments can be a lot of fun, a great learning experience for you, and it also helps you to continue to build that rapport with your puppy as they continue to grow into an adult dog, so that you can have a well-mannered citizen later in life. This is a great time for questions because you have this one-on-one time with the trainer. And it's a great opportunity for us because we're able to help you with a few small things that really make these drills a lot smoother.